Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're going to play our double match today, and we start off against Hubba. And finally, we're going to be able to use Summer Fjorm again. This has been long awaited, and I'm going to bust out the Summer Fjorm here for Chaos Season with Edward here, who is bonus. I probably could have foddered him to Micaiah, but I don't know, not yet. I'm kind of holding off. Yeah, I'm going to hold on to him for a little bit before I make that final decision. But yeah, Fjorm is back, primarily because she no longer has to worry about the Leon matchup because Breath of Life 4, that's what it does, that's how good it is. The only reason she was losing against Leon was because he was literally melting her face off. So yeah, now she doesn't have to worry about that as much. So yeah, we should be having no difficulties with clearing these matchups against Duo Leon. I think the only thing that she has to worry about is being outsped. And as of right now, like currently in the game, there aren't that many units faster than Fjorm in terms of ranged. Well, of course, there's Summer Shamir still faster, but outside of that, not many come to mind immediately. Not that she can't get brave hits due to a number on her, especially if the brave hit is on the second pierces DR,
Will do.
Golvig, Summer Golvig can be faster, or Convaser can be faster, but typically they get one shot, so don't have to worry about that either. Even though they have a ton of DR, Fjorm can still one-shot them, especially if she has IV support. So yeah, there's that as well. I'm trying to think what really in terms of speed matchups, she is still doing fairly well, which I'm really happy about because she just came out last year, and yeah, we just have not been able to use any speedy god swords, which is quite unfortunate, primarily because of how fast, how much damage these units are putting out. The chip damage is just melting everyone's face off, as well as the DR piercing epidemic. Everything pierces DR nowadays, and it's just too much. So yeah, this is Summer Fjorm at her best. Yeah, just doing the thing like she used to, and yeah, definitely getting mileage out of her. I'm still trying to think of what. I guess Loki is still a threat because she has Summer Fjorm has to still outsource. No, well, she can get it if I wanted to give it to her. She could probably still get it, but brave attacks, outsourcing, no follow-up, AoE damage reduction, stuff like that are still a problem for god swords like Summer Fjorm, of course. But with Edward here, I think it's pretty safe to bring back some of your speedy god swords, at least for a little bit, depending on the matchups that you know they can win.
Tough decision.
Especially against green units, they still have that advantage where they do a ton of damage. She can win against Micaiah as well, which is fantastic, because I've been using a couple of other Omni tanks and they've just been getting demolished against Ather and Micaiah, and it's ridiculous.
Right away.
What else? Blue units? Yeah, man, just not a lot of blue units that kill her aside from the one Shamir. Shamir just absolutely destroys Summer Fjorm. So yeah, outside of that, we should be fine. But yeah, the hardest thing with this team is going to be getting the pots, since everything is too ranged. So yeah, that aside, I've been testing out the team quite a bit, and I tested against this one setup that had Evil Veil. She is very, very strong, and somehow she was hitting 4 times in a row, and I just couldn't figure out how, because, well, she wasn't hitting Fjorm 4 times in a row. I was using Ather, and I was like, male Ather is definitely faster than this Evil Veil, so how is she quadding? I don't know if it was a res check, but he did have, well, I don't know, man. It's a lot that went into that one. I'm probably gonna have to show you guys what I'm talking about, just so that you could like get a clearer picture. But it really was an interesting matchup. So yeah, I'll probably show you guys that at some point this week. I guess it's probably the best opportunity or the best week to show off some of the defenses to see just what's going on, because they don't have inflated stats, or I don't have inflated stats, so the matchups are a little bit more pure in terms of like what you can expect at base, and then you can just extrapolate that with additional bulk to understand whether or not your unit might survive against some of the matchups that I've been coming across. Cav lines in particular, Fjorm has been doing fantastic against a lot of cav lines, which she was doing before, but now with Breath of Life 4 she's able to just go the extra mile. Really excited to get to use her this week. That being said, we're going to play one more. Let's see. Alright, here's our second match for the day. We're going to play against Crew Birdie. We're going to use the Fjorm team one more time. Although I am a little bit concerned about some of the matchups here. So we're going to false start T Lysithia, because she is one of the units that can outspeed Summer Fjorm because of the sabotage. So that debuff does inflict a massive stat swing, and also the fact that both of these Lysithias are going to get Desperation. And as I said before, Desperation is not very good for Summer Fjorm, because once they bypass her Frostbite mirror effect, the second hit typically does a ton of damage, especially if it pierces DR. So this isn't like the best matchups here for Fjorm, but hopefully she should be fast enough to deal with them. This is a beautiful Hilda here. And this, again, I've been trying to plus 10 my Lysithia as well, but it just hasn't. I get to mid-merge on so many units, which is 5, and then I just stop getting copies of them, and it's really annoying. It's really, really annoying. So I recently got to mid-merge on Lucia.
I feel faint.
Was it Lucia or Lucina? Lucia. The one that prevents specials from going off. I got to mid-merge on her out of nowhere. So I'm pretty much like expecting to no longer get any more copies of her, because that's typically what happens. We should be good here once I get rid of this T Lysithia. Then I can figure out the rest of the matchups from there in terms of what to do. The units are boxed in, so I could have used a different approach to this map, but I just didn't want to. The other two teams that I have that I ended up building are Gale Force teams, and it's really annoying trying to figure out the trap placements. Ultimately, I decided with one of them that I had to use Dual Crom, because not Dual Crom, Brave Crom, because of to change fate, instead of Fallen Crom, because Brave Crom has the armor effective damage, and that plays a big part in the matchups, because the extra effective damage, you're typically fighting armored units, so it really just it helps so much being able to take them out, whereas Fallen Crom doesn't get any damage boost. I don't remember if
Tough decision.
that arcane sword that he has gives like true damage, but yeah, he misses a lot of kills, and he typically dies really easily, so that's the reason that I've pretty much benched him. But Brave Crom actually is like just that good. We're gonna try to fight this Brave Lysithia here. Even though I don't have no follow-up, I should still be faster, so I don't think she should double. Oh, she's doubling. She's doubling. If she's doubling, then I'm dead. Pretty sure, because I think I saw Special Spiral there. Blue Flame, well, that adds 25, no? 2550, okay, yep. Does she get a guaranteed follow-up? There's no one else for them to attack, so the dance is useless. Did she get a guaranteed follow-up here?
In stride.
Okay, the Crux is giving me a double. Well, then again, she doesn't... Okay. Yeah, she does get a guaranteed follow-up. She didn't outspeed me, but because she hit the desperation, I end up losing. Let's see if Edward here is fast enough, because that's the reason that I didn't bait on that side, because I was worried that he would get outsped. Okay, so he is fast enough. I didn't know what A skill to give him. I could have given him a finish, but I didn't feel like he was worth the investment because I am going to fodder him at some point. So I had an extra... Oh, he lived. Nice. Huh, look at that. Oh, he's dead. Yeah, I was saying I had an extra Shannon laying around, so I foddered that. But yeah, he's gonna be... Edward is gonna be fodder at some point. That is unfortunate. We're gonna play one more match here. Yeah, no problem. Alright, here's our second attempt of the day, or third attempt of the day. Fjorm once more.
I'm all set.
And we should be able to get out of this. Now, Tina's here, but luckily I can use Elamine to stop Tina from doing all of her Tina stuff, so we don't have to worry about that. Although I am hoping that we outspeed this Ira. Yeah, if she doubles me, I'm dead. But hopefully we're able to outspeed this Ira, who has all the stuff. But aside from that Ira, nothing here should be much of a problem. I also have a Lex. I just don't know what to do with him. I'm waiting on him to get his refine. I'm pretty sure he should be good with his base weapon, depending on what that define does. Hopefully some true damage based off his defense, and hopefully get some true damage based off his true defense based off his defense as well. Hopefully he just gets the Asker treatment, because he's a really bulky unit who I like to use Vantage with. But he's not really necessarily built for distant counter stuff, so yeah, let's see what he ends up with.
Right away.
That's like a couple of years from now, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we should be good here with everything else.
I go.
As long as Ira does not speed Fjorm. I don't have any other teams that could potentially do this, so we're just going to go right in here. Let's see what happens. I mean, I could have tried to do a range hit and run, but nice. Okay, we don't get outsped. So Ira's dead then. Yeah, I could have tried to do a range hit and run, but the trap placements are annoying, so I didn't want to deal with that. And Edward gets the kill pretty easily, so... Not a bad unit. Definitely not a bad unit. Didn't see that warp, but it doesn't matter. Now, I can't give Fjorm Breath of Life 4 because she needs the Times Pulse 4 to keep her special looping. So it always has to be outsourced for her.
I'm all set.
So I don't know who I would... In this situation, it would probably be good to give it to Micaiah. That way I could have another unit here instead of Edward.
Right.
But... I don't know, I kind of just like having Edward around. I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling sympathy because I know I'm going to fodder him. He's on the chopping block, so I'm just trying to keep him around before I actually do it to get some use out of him. But he's gonna get chopped. There's no two ways about it. He's definitely getting chopped.
Ignore me.
I also want to give Lagoose Friend 4 to Gateau, but I don't have another copy of that just yet, so... Oh, and I did another fodder thing. Hopefully I get to show it off this week. I just have to test it out to see if it's viable and if it can actually do stuff. But yeah, hopefully I get to show that off a little bit later this week.
I will go.
Sometimes I feel like Breath of Life 4 was actually a mistake because of how much it revives or enables you to use units that were like completely dead because of Dual Leon. Like, I'm able to do a lot more strategies or bring back a lot of units that I wasn't able to utilize before because of how good the skill was. Maybe it was added a little bit too soon, I feel. Maybe that's what I'm feeling. I felt like they could have allowed Leon to wreak havoc a little bit longer. I think Taco said it best that it does a little bit too much. The two spaces condition probably we could have done without, I feel. Yeah.
A tough
But
decision.
it's here. We're just gonna keep
In
working with it, I
stride.
guess. I'm interested to see what other skills
A tough
IS is
decision.
gonna put out. Because this one is already so strong,
So hot.
I can't even imagine how they push the envelope past this. I feel like if they went like 2 months without introducing new skills, it would totally be fine because the skills in the game are already so good that there really doesn't need to be any additions at this point.
Speak.
I'd totally be okay with them just not introducing anything new aside from just strong units.
In
With
stride.
skills that are already in the game. I don't feel like they need to, like before, I don't feel like we got
A
skills
tough
on every
decision.
banner. I feel like before we used to get like repetitions of the same skills, you know, attack, speed, push, rain, snag, stuff like that. I don't feel like on every banner there was a new skill being added to the game, and now it feels like on every single new banner we get at least one new skill, and it's a little bit much. I feel they definitely need to slow down. They don't need to be going so hard with it because at this point, I feel like they're doing it as well because units need to get refines. And unless they're just going to stop giving out refines, they're going to need to find innovative skills or ways to improve these older units so that they're not just copy-paste versions of units that are already in the game, which unfortunately there's no way to avoid when you look at things like extra movements, thinking about what Legendary Sigurd does versus Brave Seliph in terms of the 4 movements. Although Legendary Sigurd gives that to your entire party after initiating or getting the special off, but it's really just 4 movement at the end of the day. It's not that unique. So I think they want to avoid refines like that. But it's really difficult unless you do what they're currently doing, which is introducing a ton of new skills into the game so that you have enough skills to spread out to these units that you're refining. And I think that's, again, the reason why they've slowed down on the demote refines in particular, because that's like one or 2 more units that they'd have to refine every month.
Will do.
I think it's at least 6 or so units that are getting refined each month, and that's a lot. When you're thinking about trying to create something unique.
In stride.
So I understand it from that standpoint, why we're getting so many new skills, but man, it is a bit much. I don't think they planned for the game to go on as long as it had. They didn't plan for the game to be going on as long as it is currently going, and I feel like we have at least 2 to 3 more years of the game left. So in their mind, they're probably just saying, let's just go all out, put whatever we want to put in, because who knows how long we have left into it, and at the same time let's make sure that everyone enjoys the game, which is again understandable, but there has to be some level of control. You don't want to go with too much of there's things that they need better pacing. I mean, there's things that you can pace out and space out just to give the player base a break. We don't need a new skill every banner. But yeah, we miss a pot on this one. Nothing I can really do about it. I would have needed 1 more unit just to get that pot up there, but GG's. Good start to the week so far.